Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. It is so cool to have a return performance by an unbelievable jazz performer, and that is Gabrielle Cavassa, one of our own in San Diego County, just performed in the second San Diego Tijuana International Jazz Festival. Gabby, so good to see you.
So good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, congratulations on, what, since the last time we chatted with you, just all the things you've been doing. International Sarah Vaughan Jazz Vocal Competition winner in 2021. Wow. Just got signed by Blue Note Records. My goodness, legendary Blue Note Records. So add Gabrielle Cavassa to the list of great performers that are in that list. And again, congratulations. How you feeling? You must be on Cloud 9000.
Yeah, I am. But I guess I was surprised to find, looking forward to getting here in my career and working. It's like climbing a mountain or something. And then you get to this point, and I guess I thought it would be easier. And it's just not. It's like being at the bottom of another mountain that it's my privilege to climb, but that I really want to be, I really want to be here, but it's definitely a new set of challenges.
Yeah, well, listen, you've met every challenge you have and done it, over the top, and joined also by my business partner and the CEO and founder of Cloudcast Media, Charles Parisi. And Charles, you got a long time, know Gabby and her family for a zillion years. Is that about right?
Well, I'm lucky enough to say that I think it's got to be nearly 20 years. And I met her mom and dad through very, very, very close friends of mine, like my brother. But I think literally it's got to be, it's probably 20 years.
Yeah.
Probably since she had her first burrito at Cheeto's Taco Shop, right, Gabby?
Yeah, everyone's making fun of me for shouting out Cheeto's Taco Shop in the newspaper article. But that's my spot.
I know. We know it well.
I'm so glad that my former colleague, I've worked for the Union Tribune for many, many years in running community public relations, and George Varga and I have worked together for, I'm pretty embarrassed to tell you how many years we worked together at San Diego Unified for now. I've known George for 45 years. Arguably, George is the best pop music critic in the country. I'm a little prejudiced, of course, but, he did a great story on the San Diego Tijuana International Jazz Festival and highlighted you on this, and obviously you killed it there. Was this the first time you played in that festival?
Yeah.
So what'd you think? How'd you like it?
I loved it. It was the first time I've played in Escondido since high school. So wow. I was sort of overwhelmed and very impressed with the festival itself. And, there's a lot of friends that were there performing that I've met around the world, and also some of my idols that I got to meet that night. So I was just impressed that Escondido was hosting this type of event, this level of event.
Yeah, one of our colleagues, Charles and I, work very closely with Tad Parsin. They were the festival underwriter. They're from the Burnham Center for Community Advancement. They've been working on this for quite a while, and their whole focus is in the world that we need more than anything, collaboration, and let's all get together. What a concept that is, right?
Yeah. And
that's hopefully that was the spirit you took away from the festival. Was it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's terrific. So you've been in New Orleans for how long now?
8 years.
Oh my goodness, 8 years.
I know.
Does it seem like 8 minutes, or does it seem like 8 decades, or sometime in between?
It seems like 5 years.
What do you love? What do you love about New Orleans?
I mean, I love the music. That's what drew me to it.
Right.
I love the humanity in New Orleans. I think that it's a place where people are not afraid to be themselves, to celebrate, to mourn. I think there's not. You see the full range of humanity there in a way that I hadn't experienced before. I think there's there's a lot of people struggling in New Orleans, and there's a lot of people creating beauty in New Orleans. And all of that, I think it's a place where people try to help each other. Most of the time, it's a inspiring community, I guess, because it makes me feel like I'm also connected to humanity. That's a intense answer, but it's the truth. It just
and I know Charles got a question for you, but I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to have been in visiting New Orleans about 38, 39 times. I consider that my second home, to be honest with you. And the vibe, I think you captured it very well. The vibe there is just amazing, besides the music and the food and all that business. But there's just a soul in New Orleans that is hard to find almost anywhere. There's some great places, obviously, in San Diego County. We all know that. But that whole city and that county is just full of stuff. And in my years visiting it, that's exactly what you get. You can meet somebody, and then it's like they've known you for 35 years, for God's sake, right?
Yeah, very generous. Like, I really felt embraced especially by the music community, which doesn't always happen, And so I was, very touched and moved by the generosity of the people of New Orleans.
Right.
Well, let me share a little bit about that community, Drew, because I had an opportunity to experience it live. It was May of 2021 when I was driving back east, stopped in New Orleans, got together with Gabby. And, New Orleans is filled with lots of stars and incredible talent. But I will say this, in every field, there's always those that have the it factor. So here's what I experienced in New Orleans. She was treated like royalty. They know you have that it factor, Gabby. So I want all of San Diego and the world to hear on this show that in a town of stars, what I saw they did with you, I think it was the Trumpet Mafia. Was that the beautiful hotel in the lobby? When people were saying, like, oh my gosh, Gabby's here, maybe we can have her do a song. Like, you are a star. In a city of stars, you're a star.
Well, thank you. I mean, they sort of raised me musically in a way. So I have New Orleans to thank.
Yeah. Are you playing in a club right now in New Orleans? Do you have a home club, so to speak?
The reason why I said it feels like I've lived there for 5 years is because I've been on the road so much the last 2 years, but sort of a little bit, maybe verging on 3. I've been gone so much. So no, I don't have a current home club, which, prior to this period of life, I always did.
Right.
So I'm trying to actually figure out how I can be a little bit more a part of the New Orleans scene again.
Well, Drew, I think since the last time Gabby's on the show, because, so I'm sitting in my home office right now, and I have Frank Sinatra albums framed all over the walls.
Love that.
And one of my all-time favorite Sinatra songs, truly, is in the wee small hours of the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, that entire album was recorded with Blue Note Records, am I right? So, I think so.
Wow. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite records as well.
You may have to check that out because...
I didn't realize that.
You may have to check that out because, Drew... Oh. This little Gabby from Escondido and Cheeto's Taco Shop is now with Blue Note Records. How did that happen?
Well, she's got a vibe, and she's a star, even though she's very humble when she chats about it. And like musicians that say they always give credit to so many other people besides themselves, and I'm sure Gabby's in that vein as well. What inspired you to become a singer? I mean, is that in your family's background? Is your mom, your dad a singer? Brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, pets? So.
No one is a singer. But I will say my family's very creative. Both of my parents are, I don't know if they call themselves artists, but they both are. My father is a builder of homes and a potter. My mother is an incredible visual artist, and a potter as well, painter, and an incredible cook. Like both of them are just infused with creativity, and it just sort of is natural to them. It's not how they identify. It's not how they earn their living, but it's just pouring out of them. So music was sort of, it's not their thing, but it was, I think, the creativity and the tendency to sort of find solace in art came from my parents.
Well, that's great. We're chatting with Gabby Cavassa. She is a recording star. She's a Escondido native. Just performed at the San Diego Tijuana International Jazz Festival. Got to play up in California Center for the Arts, which is in Escondido. She lives in New Orleans now, just got signed by Blue Note Records. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 60 years of doing great things in San Diego, from food insecurity to arts to financial literacy and everything in between on this. So, Gabby, you're in New Orleans. You do a lot of traveling. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. Okay. Where's your favorite place to eat in New Orleans?
There's a lot, but the first place that comes to mind is N7. It's sort of fancy. And it's in the Bywater, and it's French, Japanese, New Orleans fusion.
Wow.
And it is so good. This is probably my favorite restaurant.
So I need to get that address. We're always trying to find new places in all of our sojourns down there. And we wind up eating at the same ones, for God's sake, because, Giacomo's or whatever the case may be. But we're going to have to try some new ones. Charles, I know you haven't been to New Orleans a zillion times, but do you remember some of the favorite places you ate when you were there, or you weren't there long enough to do that?
Oh, I've been. I guess my pilgrimages to New Orleans go back probably about 20 years. So I don't know that I have any particular one. Some have closed, and then I remember going to Emerald's when he was first popular as a chef, first becoming known as a chef.
Wow.
Where he started. Nola was one of the places that I loved. I don't even think it's around anymore. Hey, I gotta jump back for a second, Drew. You don't mind? When I think of Blue Note, you got Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, Cannonball Adderley, of course, Sinatra did an album, Herbie Hancock, and now Gabby Cavassa. Gabby, how's that feel that happened for you?
Surreal, really. I mean, I've never dreamed of any other record label besides Blue Note. That's the one for me. Sometimes I feel like a little bit, not creeped out, but just like, am I manifesting this? Like, did I do that? Because that's the only record label I've ever wanted to be on. And it's the only one that ever wanted to sign me. I didn't go through like many
That's
labels, incredible. I'm not sure, how the path of my life landed with Blue Note so divinely. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely very grateful, and I feel that it's the right label for me. I love working with Don Was. He actually produced my record, which is coming out in April, and alongside Joshua Redman. And I the legacy is intimidating and inspiring, and I'm just very grateful to be standing in its light.
No, I think that's, congratulations. When we come back from break, Gabby, let's talk more about Blue Note and that sojourn to get there. And then where you're thinking, moving forward, what other things are in your mind? Obviously, you're young, you got a whole world in front of you, but there's some things that, boy, I really want to try X. So think about that as well. And any other shout outs you want to do when we return with Gabby Cavassa. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
We're back with Gabby Cavassa, International Sarah Vaughan Jazz Vocal Competition winner in 2021. Just got signed by the legendary Blue Note Records. Just performed at the San Diego Tijuana International Jazz Festival. She's an Escondido native, and she got to play up in Escondido at the California Center for the Arts. Now, living in New Orleans, what a perfect spot for her when you talk about music and jazz and blues and everything in between, and just talking about this wonderful trajectory that she is on. But you've been doing a lot of traveling. Do you like travel?
I do. Yeah.
What do you like? What do you like about it?
The anonymity of it. I like to just
because they don't know you. Well, they do know you, but I mean, they don't know you.
Not to say like I'm like people know me. That's not what I mean. I just mean like to just feel like you're nobody in a totally new world. It's like very peace. It's like feels like a nice type of solitude. I like it.
Now, when you go ahead, Charles.
You do also enjoy immersing yourself in the culture of others.
Very much. But, touring is a really interesting type of travel. I feel like I had a period of life where I did a lot of like real travel where I felt like I, was staying places for as long as I could. And this is when I was studying abroad. It was a very wonderful, interesting, hard time of life where I was just, traveling a lot and getting jobs in different places and becoming a part of a new community. But touring is nothing like that. It's hard to immerse yourself sort of because you're just in and out. So I guess that's why I feel the anonymity more. It's like you don't have time, so it's like I've been around the world and I don't know how much of it I've seen.
Was there
where have you played outside of the country?
A lot in Europe.
Uh-huh.
a lot in Europe. That's probably the biggest like jazz market, definitely the biggest jazz market outside of the US. And I would say it's bigger than the US.
Interesting.
Yeah. Also got the opportunity to go to Japan last year and headed there again this year. So that's somewhere that I really enjoyed. Where else? I've been to Africa a few times. Sicily. Josh is waving the Sicilian flag.
Right.
Love Sicily, love Italy, my home country.
Yes.
And Canada. I have never made it down to South America. I'd really love to. Yeah.
Now, you sing also in Italian, correct?
Yes, I do.
And was that something you've done for a long time? Is it in recent years, or you've always sung both in English and Italian?
I have been singing in Italian for a long time because, first of all, it's just a great language to sing in. It's kind of the best just because of the open vowels. And I have, been studying opera a bit, just on the side. So I have been doing Italian for a long time, and it's a way for me to connect to my family. My grandparents speak Italian, and so it's a fun thing for me to call them and have them correct, my pronunciation. And
do you speak fluent Italian?
I don't speak fluent Italian. I'm learning, and I'm learning through singing.
I was going to say, how tough was it to do that, to make that transition from English to Italian when you're not fluent in Italian? Or was it tough?
Well, when I was touring with Joshua Redman, the album we were touring is called Where Are We? And it's all about places in the United States. I mean, that's one of the themes. And so when we would go abroad, we felt sort of strange just performing music about the United States. So I would sing a different song in the language of the country we were in each place we went to. So I sang in many, many languages, and I discovered that it's sort of a hidden interest and hidden gift, maybe. Like I did Japanese, Korean, Spanish, wow, French, Turkish. I did. Oh, there's more. But anyways.
So that's fascinating to me. So would you get the phonetic spellings when you're in this different language? So in Turkey, unless you can read Turkish, I guess, whatever. How would you get, to know that you're pronouncing it correctly? Was it phonetically spelled for you?
I would phonetically spell it out or make notes. I could never learn to speak these languages, just for the record. I think the key for me is like hearing. I speak like the language of music and language of singing specifically. So if I hear a singer, I can tell what they're doing with their mouth. So it allows me to pronounce the word correct, sing the word correctly. But don't ask me to speak it. But like, I can sing, I can imitate, everything that's going on with how the singer's singing. So as long as I have a reference, I can sort of figure it out. And Turkish was actually one of my very favorites because it was very challenging and very, very, very beautiful.
Well, you obviously, that's a talent. Do most singers are able to do that?
I don't know. I wouldn't have known that I was if I wasn't tasked with this. And it was something that Josh and I decided we wanted to do together. I don't know.
That's impressive. So when you listen to yourself, singing in Japanese or Turkish or whatever the case may be, do you take a step back? Do you share it with somebody who speaks Japanese and say, hey, how did I sound?
Yeah, I basically won't go on stage without singing it for somebody who's a native speaker.
Right.
And so there's been many like backstage moments, like in Turkey, for example, very nice woman who was sort of like a backstage hand. And she was just like tutoring me for like, couple hours before the show, we were just like really in depth because I'd already been practicing, and I have a friend from Istanbul who had helped me and sent me like voice memos. So I get a lot of help for sure.
I think that's a fascinating ability in this area. So, obviously, you're having just a wonderful career. You're excited, doing Blue Note, as you said, another mountain to climb, right? And so you'll climb that one, and then who knows where the next mountain will be that you'll take a look at. Do you ever see yourself getting off of this genre in music and go to different type of music, in maybe blues or something, or who knows?
I mean, I don't think of it that way, and I think a lot of musicians don't. It's just categorized that way for consumption and to be sold. I'm not sure how much control I even have. I'm never going to do, I doubt that you'd ever, see me take a super different production approach. I mean, and that's not true. I'm sure I'll change, and I'm willing to take drastic production approaches. But I mean, like, I'm never going to say, oh, I'm going to be a pop singer now. I'm going to change my whole thing. And then, there's always going to be an evolution that makes sense, I think, from album to album. Sometimes I do think that I'm going for a different sort of style, and then I'll show it to somebody and they'll say, what are you talking about? This is not a pop. So I don't know. I think that the important thing is that I'm just going to make the music that I can make and feel led to make. And then it will just be categorized, however it is.
Hey, Drew, for what it's worth, not that I have any say in the matter, but when the Cheetos Taco Shop concert series comes out, I'm hoping we have a full album in Italian by Gabby Cavassa, and I want to duet with Gregory Porter. I don't care what Blue Note wants. That's what I want.
Well, Gregory's on Blue Note, so
oh my gosh,
that could work out.
Oh my gosh, I love
really,
Gregory Porter.
Yeah.
I can see the two. You and Gregory Porter would have an international smash hit.
I also love Gregory Porter, and I've never met him, and I really hope to.
He has San Diego.
I know. Yeah.
So, did you enjoy playing with? Was Gilbert Castellanos playing with you up in Escondido, or was he playing at a different spot?
He was at the festival, but not with me.
Yeah, he's certainly a legend, to say the least, and stuff. Have you played with him before?
No.
Yeah, he's quite wonderful to listen to, as are many of the folks that come out of San Diego. So, getting back to where do you see this? Do you get a chance to have your parents? Do they get to see you when you travel to certain areas and watch you perform?
I mean, they have made trips to see me, but every time that they see me, and if anyone in my family sees me, I think it is a little bit of a shock, because so much of what I do is very far from home, and it was really special to just bring it to them, which has never happened. So, yeah.
No, I think that's exciting. Charles, you got any other questions for Gabby?
I do, Gabby. I'd like to ask you a question, because I think you're obviously a super successful young music artist in a very, very tough business. Because then I have an invitation I'd like to extend to you live on Spotlight in the Community Show, which has been running, of course, by 19 years. Thank you to Mission Fed for making all these amazing conversations happen. Question for you. Talk to a young musician out there, a 10-year younger version of Gabby in college, about the importance of an artist also being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What's the entrepreneurial nature of being a successful artist?
They're two separate jobs. And I think if you want to be, a leader of your own project, which I knew that I did, you have to take both seriously. And it's been a pleasant surprise that I like the entrepreneurial part of it, and I think it really intimidated me 10 years ago. But I really enjoy it. And I think it's been about knowing that I can't and I don't need to do everything myself. There are always resources around you that you can use. Long before I had the team that I have now, I had friends who were interested in, there's always connections you can make. So I guess to young people, I would say, figure out your strengths and use them and be smart about it. And also figure out your weaknesses and just get some help. You can't do it alone, and you really need support. Is the other thing. It's a very unstable, career path, and so you have to have all kinds of support actually to make it work, including emotional support. So I think it's possible, and what makes it possible is wanting it really bad, and sort of going through the learning process, both as a musician, as an artist, but also as a business person, to try to get yourself where you want to be.
Hey, Gabby, before we sign off, I got to ask you a question. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
There's one song in particular of yours that I have had a fascination with since I first heard it.
Oh.
So we're going to have to revisit it. Can I hear you say those magic words about podcasts?
Oh, no. Yeah, you want me to sing it?
Oh, we would love to hear it.
Sure. Okay. You listen to podcasts now. You're so smart. You're so careful. You're not careful with my heart.
Beautifully. Can you sing that in Italian?
No.
Oh, my goodness. Well, listen, what a pleasure. Promise me, Charles and I were chatting about this before you got on, and people ask me this all the time. They said, my goodness, you've been doing Jazz Fest for 37 years. You've had your show for 19. You've never thought about doing a special edition of Spotlight on the Community in New Orleans?
Yeah.
I go, well, that's because I usually am into my 15th hurricane by the time I think about this. But
yeah, your vacation.
Right. No, that's okay. I mean, that would do a better interview when I'm in my 15th hurricane, for God's sake. Would you promise us, if you happen to be around when we're in New Orleans, April 22nd, we'll be there for through the first weekend, that if there's an opportunity where you're available, that we can do a special remote from you if you happen to be in town?
Yes, I would love to. And I can also, bring some friends or introduce you to some of the other great artists there. Well,
listen, I'm gonna remind you of that, I totally understand if you want to hang up next time we're on the phone. But I would love to do that. I'll let you know what the schedule is. If it works, that would be fantastic. Charles,
we'll both have hurricanes.
100%. Maybe we can do it live from Pat O'Brien's.
Yeah, perfect.
Exactly. As Charles knows, we have one little rule on the group that goes with me, is that 90 minutes from the time the rubber hits the tarmac in New Orleans Airport, we're at Pat O'Brien's. So,
wow.
So if we have to bring your suitcase into Pat O'Brien's, so be it. That's our rule. So,
wow.
Yeah. Anyway, I will look forward to that. Gabby Cavassa, just so great seeing you again. Congratulations on your phenomenal success. And Charles, enjoy this interview.
Great.
Thank you both.
Absolutely. I'm Drew Schlosberg, Cloudcast Media. But listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. For 60 years, they've been doing great things in the community, and we hope you enjoyed chatting with Gabby Cavassa.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.